Welcome back to DSR Ghostwriting on YouTube. My name is Daniel Rosel, and I am the founder, writer, and marketing consultant running DSR Ghostwriting, which is a writing company specializing in helping individual entrepreneurs, companies, and agencies to plan and develop thought leadership campaigns for execution in print, in pixel, and in speech. Bit of a mouthful. I'm not using the last bit of my slogan so much these days. What I wanted to talk about in this blog post is, in this video blog, I should say, is the idea that thought leaders are appointed, not by themselves. It's an earned title. And this is when there is some pushback from quarters online about thought leadership, that a lot of people think that thought leadership is kind of a meaningless or an empty buzzword. And I specialize in producing thought leadership for clients, and I largely agree with the sentiment that there is far too much poor thought leadership being put out there. And I think there's a few reasons for this. The first is that there's a misunderstanding of what true thought leadership is and what it should look like. So true thought leadership, and if you haven't checked out some of my other YouTube videos, please check out DSR Ghostwriting on YouTube, because I have discussed this before. What is thought leadership? And my usual stock answer is, well, the clue's in the name. You want to put out thought or thinking that is truly leading and innovative into the marketplace of ideas, and then you leverage the quality of those ideas on an important debate in an industry topic to generate top of funnel opportunities to build awareness with your prospects. So that is what true thought leadership looks like. It's basically companies coming into their stock of case studies or ideating really interesting ideas and then packaging them well for the audience that they're trying to market to. So very often that would be a roughly flat hierarchical audience, rather than in content marketing where you might be marketing to your consumers, which is not a put down of content marketing. It's just saying that it works through a different mechanism. And if you think of thought leadership as a synonym for content marketing, well, you're just going to be putting out content marketing under a different name. And guess what? Yes, a lot of content marketing these days is poorly done. So true thought leadership is something different. And when I'm quoting clients for thought leadership and content marketing, I will typically quote more for thought leadership because it's harder to put together if it has to be original, if it has to be written for a trade publication. It's not an easy thing to slap together. It's not like your top 5 benefits from using your product. So there is misuse and abuse of thought leadership, the terminology going on in the marketplace, and that's a bad thing. So even people who start producing thought leadership, that does not make you a thought leader. So when people start to call themselves thought leaders from the get-go, that also kind of just diminishes any meaning that thought leader might have. And I think the true meaning of thought leader is when people look to you as a thought leader. I cite in this blog post an example. I think most of us would agree that Bill Gates, like him or hate him, and I think most people either have neutral or, actually, I take that back. Like Bill Gates or hate Bill Gates, like Microsoft or hate Microsoft, same thing about Elon Musk. Most people would agree that those guys are thought leaders. They don't have to put out a Twitter or a LinkedIn and say, hey, I'm Bill Gates. Have you heard of me? I'm a thought leader about technology and about eco change. So basically, there's an easy litmus test to distinguish thought leaders from not thought leaders, and that's if your average person on the street heard your name in association with the title thought leader, would they roll their eyes or would they say, who is that guy or that lady? What would their reaction be? And therefore, I think the message really I'm trying to get across here is, firstly, don't blame thought leadership for the fact that a lot of people use the term badly. It is a legitimate thing. It is a real activity. It is really different than content marketing. Secondly, real thought leaders are appointed, not self-appointed. It's a peer thing. Your peer group has to genuinely believe that you're a thought leader and start calling you that in order for you to even think about calling yourself a thought leader. And, look, I don't control the way my clients brand themselves. I don't tell them, don't describe yourself as a thought leader. If they want to, that's their prerogative. But that would be my recommendation, would be to reserve it for true thought leader, for when it's beyond any shadow of a doubt that you're a thought leader. and doing so prematurely can definitely risk your credibility. Thought leadership is a long, hard journey to becoming an actual thought leader. But the good news is you can certainly start on that journey. If you are interested in starting on that journey and working with a writing company to develop a plan and execute your thought leadership, then please check out my website at dsrghostwriting.com. That's all together, dsrghostwriting.com. I specialize in working with particularly the technology sector in helping to develop and then execute on thought leadership campaigns to take companies and the people behind companies from the category of aspiring thought leader to the category of actual recognized thought leader. That is what it's about. Thanks for watching, and next video coming up soon.